about the entire right side, kind of like a sail. And when the car turns left, that sail leans on like a
It's probably not strong enough with how mad he is at what happened with A.J. Allmendinger earlier on. And then he said from there, it just was terrible. It was so loose. So spun out there. So they're going to come down pit road, still trying to fix that right rear damage for Sammy Smith, who came in with so much speed in this race. But, yeah, you can see how damaged that right rear quarter panel is, Steve. I don't know if they can get that fixed up to where they can be competitive today. What do you think?
I think they can. I think the damage can be repaired as long as it's still attached to the car. There's some bracing underneath there. Once that breaks loose, you can never really attach it as good as new. And the most important thing is to kind of seal up all the areas. You see the gap between the quarter panel and the bumper. That's important, as well as the deck lid to the rear glass, which is what the crew members doing with that silver roll of tape.
Those guys are working on the back of that car, and we see the lights on the top of the pace car. The Whelen caution lights are illuminated on the pace car. Whelen is the official warning lights of NASCAR, trusted to protect first responders. So a frustrated driver. At first it's with A.J. Allmendinger. Then another car Looked like Jeb Burton in the 27 was right on his back bumper, probably taking the air off of that spoiler a little bit, and he got around.
See the 9 car. Brandon Jones picking the outside again. I'm with you. I think the outside is the way to go, but you got to get a great launch. Now let's go back, and, we heard Sammy Smith very upset with A.J. Allmendinger. Remember, this is lap 4 of the beginning of the playoffs. So right there you see Sammy loose, and I don't know that there's any contact. I don't really see right there that there's contact. There may have been, and if there was contact, I don't blame him for being mad. Lap 4 of the beginning of the playoffs, and that's what we're doing. But it just looks like to me Sammy was loose. But, Steve, I think they can get this thing fixed. They got the spoiler fixed. If they could get that quarter panel taped up, they might be okay.
Yeah, you mentioned it, though. Down a set of tires. This is what's frustrating right here is we've been on pit road once, and now we're on pit road with the cars going down the backstretch.
Okay, go.
So the 88 right here, Connor Zilic, another big save right here. We saw one early in the race. Now look at this one. This one could have been day ending. The youngster had a big day on his first start at Watkins Glen, sat on the pole and won the race. Still slipping and sliding here at Kansas, not alone.
So his response back to his crew chief might be, I'm a little loose in 4.
Well, you don't know, because it could be, hey, I'm too tight to have a bunch of wheel in it and the back goes around. But either way, the back of the car low on grip at least a couple times.
After the choose, the race leader is Chandler Smith. He's in the 81 on the inside. Brandon Jones on the outside as we get back under green.
The 9, a much better start this time. Pushing on the bottom, the 20 shoving the 81 into the corner. Can the 9 get back to his right rear quarter panel? I think he might have a chance this time. Just unable to stay in the throttle as much as he needs, and with that, Chandler Smith clears him.
We'll see what Almirola does. He's still on the inside there in the number 20. Custer and CW 00 there on the outside, and he's going to try to go on the high side here. He looks to the outside of the 9, but way back. They're too wide for that third spot. And now he has the momentum, so it looks as though he's going to clear that 20. And Cole Custer has third.
See Cole Custer trying to work the bottom of the racetrack. But that outside lane right now is just where the speed is. You're going to have to be much faster to pass on the bottom.
Riley Herbst in the 98. With his win at Vegas earlier this year, he locked himself into the playoffs.
Kyle Petty surprisingly picked the 98 to be a driver he didn't think was going to make it out of this round. I have the opposite. I have the 98 as potentially one of those drivers being able to go to the championship 4. He's impressed me, that big win in Indianapolis. I like what I've been seeing out of the 98. Top of the screen, Brandon Jones back on the attack.
And now closing the gap for that lead. It's down to about a 1/10 of a second separating the 81 and the 9.
Brandon Jones with a big run on corner exit is going to get to that left rear quarter panel. Couldn't quite make it. What does he do here? Chandler Smith kind of takes the middle of the racetrack, kind of trying to take both lanes away.
Here comes the 9 with momentum. Is he going to be able to get to the inside? He doesn't. Right in his tire tracks as they enter turn 1.
Right there is where Brandon Jones is a little bit quicker.
A car length separating the top 2. Chandler Smith now to the middle of the racetrack. Jones staying about a half a lane higher.
The battle behind between the 20 of Almirola and the 19 of Gray. Almirola has really committed to the top of 1 and 2, but with this fewer laps on the tires, it seems like the bottom still has a chance to compete. You see the 20. I'm looking at the bottom left shot on your screen. Oh, that's what the top is so good for. Momentum down the backstretch. Bottom right, that's the 2 of Jesse Love, the 98 of Riley Herbst locked together.
And Herbst able to surge ahead. He has that 10th spot. So now the lead stretches out. Chandler Smith has put about 5 car lengths between himself and the 9 of Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones, the only driver in this field that has won here at Kansas in the Xfinity Series, and he's done it twice.
Taylor Gray in that 19 car, putting a lot of pressure on Aric Almirola. Taylor has really good speed right here in the middle of the corner. Finished 18th last night in the truck race.
How much does that help a driver to be on this track? Obviously more than the guys around you in the Xfinity Series.
Well, I think the cars, the vehicles are completely different, but I think experience is experience, especially for a young driver with limited practice that we have today. I would race as much as I could.
Sam Mayer just in front of Austin Hill, 2 playoff drivers. And here's Hill diving to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get by Sam. "45 laps for stage number 1. And Steve, they won't have to come to pit road for fuel.
No, they can run around 60 laps on fuel, so the first and the second stage aren't a concern. The final stage will require a pit stop. 4 sets of tires in the pits, so you imagine you're going to put 1 on at the end of stage 1, the same at the end of stage 2. It gives you a couple sets to play with when you're going to want to put those on. Battle for 10th now as we see the 18 of Creed. Herbst backsliding just a little bit.
Creed slides up the racetrack, takes the position away. 0.8 of a second separating Chandler Smith and Jones. And it's Custer, Almirola, Gray, Allgaier back there in 6th. Sam Mayer is 7th. Side-by-side racing here is Creed still trying to complete the pass as Herbst worked back to the inside, but now he's got it done.
It's kind of a combination of corners, Jeff, as we see now a battle of Jesse Love, the yellow car, the 88 of Connor Zilic. That's going to upset the 2. We have Corey Heim and Ryan Sieg. That's the 4 drivers there in line. Ryan Sieg in that white car at the bottom. Corey Heim to his outside.
Corey Heim won the truck race here last night. Corey driving this number 26, has the Toyota on board with him.
Corey driving for Sam Hunt Racing. We ran into Sam, what was a week or 2 ago, Jeff, and he said he just loves having Corey in his car. So much fun to listen to and to watch. Just so much talent.
Now he's got the outside lane.
AJ Allmendinger in the 16, working the bottom of the racetrack.
Pretty impressive, that 16 car. The speed he was able to carry on corner entry.
Yeah, the top is actually nowhere near as dominant as I thought it would be early. Watching practice and even qualifying, the top was the preferred lane. But you see right here, the 39 able to keep up pace on the bottom. They really spread all over the entire racetrack.
See that bright yellow car? 88 of Connor Zilic. He is learning so much right now. We've seen him twice almost spin out.
Connor Zilic has dropped back to the 14th position. Ryan Sieg also one of the non-playoff drivers, just ahead of him in 13th. They'll be right along the NXT on board. Cole Custer looking back at that 9 of Jones.
Inside quarter.
Custer had second. Jones trying to take it back. And now Custer with the momentum on the outside will get back out in front of the 9. Chandler Smith out front. He's led 22 laps already. Brandon Jones, the only other driver to be up front.
You looking for a little trouble? You like watching things get broken? Like barriers?
which respects all Americans, then you have a new home with News Nation. See why News Nation is America's fastest growing cable news network. To find News Nation on your screen, go to joinnn.com. 17 to go in stage one, and Chandler Smith with a 1.2-second advantage over Aric Almirola now, who has moved up to that second position. Custer back to third. Brandon Jones, Taylor Gray on the top five. Then it's Sam Mayer, Allgaier, Austin Hill, Creed, and Herbst all part of the top 10. Marty.
Rick Riley Herbst right now in the 10th position, as you just mentioned, talking to him earlier this week. He told me, he said, listen, at the Olympic break, we were 4th in the championship standings. So for us to start as the number 8 seed, honestly, that was a massive wake-up call. So in their meetings this week at Davin Restivo and Riley Herbst, he said, we got to get our program together, and this race should be a good litmus test for us. This is our type of track. I don't want to go to Talladega needing to make up points. We'll see how Riley does for the rest of the day, Kim.
Well, Marty, I spent time with rookie Jesse Love yesterday and just asked how he's approaching his first Xfinity Series playoff run. And he said for the first round, his thought process is to not wreck, keep the fenders on it, finish all the laps, and take what our car will give us. For the most part, he said the first round should be smooth sailing. Now, go back to that thought about taking what the car will give them. Right now, the car not giving Jesse what he needs. He came on the radio just a second ago, said, I am so tight. The car will not turn. I need help on entry and exit as Jesse Love runs in the 13th position.
And there you see the 43 of Ryan Ellis. Take a look at today's Snapchat driver update. You know, the paint scheme inspired by Snapchat's More Loves, Less Likes campaign. And their goal to bring a little more love into everyone's lives.
Ryan making his 125th Xfinity Series start this weekend, so experience behind the wheel at 34 years old.
Ryan, one of the many drivers that started racing very early. At the age of 4, he was racing quarter midgets. And it looks as though the 19 off pace, Marty. What's going on?
Yes, he has lost his cylinder a moment ago. He was battling for 4th with his teammate Aric Almirola. Now he's fallen all the way back into the, where is he, 9th position right now, and 2 seconds off the pace. So down a cylinder for the 19 of Taylor Gray.
That's going to be a frustrating long day. You can almost hear it right there. The engine going a little bit south for the 19 car.
Yeah, that is frustrating. Battle up front.
Tightening up.
Yeah, Aric Almirola the last several laps has been much faster than Chandler Smith. Now, Chandler's been in some traffic, and that's allowed him to catch him, but that's part of this racetrack, Steve. You catch lap traffic so quickly, and then they're running the preferred lane. They're running the top. So you see what Chandler's got to do. He's got to run the bottom of the racetrack. Now he gets held up big time by the guys on the outside, and that lets the 20 come with a ton of speed. Can he make it 3 wide to get by these lap guys? There he goes.
Quickly. He puts those 2 down, and now he sets his sights on that 29. And does he get by? He can't go by Blaine Perkins.
So that right there was, I'm surprised that was a mistake Aric Almirola made. As much experience as he has, he gets in the corner, gets in there, you know, had to turn very sharply because the guys on the outside of him, but didn't get slowed down enough to be able to stay on the bottom of the racetrack.
Eric's going to be a big asset for these Xfinity Series drivers as well as they navigate the playoffs. He's going to be in all the Xfinity Series races in a different combination of Joe Gibbs entries, but this is a guy that has 460 Cup starts, 24 of them here at Kansas. So when you talk about a lot of experience in your arena, the people that are in your meetings that help, now they're not all great. Remember, this is a track where he actually broke his back in that huge accident in 1 and 2, just reminding us of how fast this racetrack is. But Jeff, from a driver's standpoint, it's got to be nice having somebody like Aric you can just bounce things off from over the course of the day.
It's great to have a conversation with him, but it's terrible for this. Look at the pace he's got. And one of the reasons he has the pace is look at where his car is compared to Chandler. Watch the entry. Now, this time the 20 car had to run a little bit lower trying to search for some clean air. But when he's been on the wall, he's been on the wall. The 81's leaving 3 or 4 feet from the wall. You see making the 81 loose right there.
And here he goes for the lead. Aric Almirola was in front of him at the stripe, and new leader in Kansas, the 20 of Aric Almirola out front. Now, how big is this for Chandler Smith as Almirola almost up against the wall?
But that's where the speed is. And that's one of the advantages in being a driver that's not a normal, a regular in the series. You can take those chances. If you get in the wall, you've got enough. You got cup wins. They look at you and say, hey, man, it's all right. When you're a young driver and you make a mistake, you're ridiculed more. So when we see cup drivers being successful in Xfinity, much of it has to do with not just ability but mindset. I'm willing to take gambles. Look at him. Watch this. He's going to get right against the wall. He knows Chandler's down there. He knows when he gets to the exit, Chandler's not going to be there anymore because he's going to drive off from him. Mindset, willing to take risk. That's a major advantage.
Now, I want to remind you, at the end of each stage, there are stage points that are given, but there's also a playoff point for the stage winner. And those are the points that everybody carried into these playoffs. But that stage point won't go to someone who isn't in the playoffs, which is Aric Almirola. So that playoff point that could carry forward, which Chandler Smith could have got, Aric Almirola is going to take it away from him here, possibly with under 6 to go. As they run, you see those above the cut line again after the third race. The bottom 4 in points will be eliminated.
Man, the 20 card just looks really nice. You talk about the risk, and it is a risk, but it just looks comfortable. Like he gets right up there above that top paving seam and looks like he has a lot of confidence to be able to apply the throttle on corner exit.
Now 5 laps to go and Almirola pulling away. Chandler Smith still running second, 1.2 seconds back. And then you see,
Sam Mayer thought he was going to go to the left of that 92, Rick. Instead, he kind of gets a little bit of a rolling pick. Look at the momentum lost to the 9.
Yeah, a little indecision there. And Dawson Cram in that 92 is the pick for Sam Mayer, and that has him checking up.
But look at Sam. See, much like the 20, he runs above that paving seam all the way through the corner, through its exit. And for that reason, he should have a little bit of speed down the straightaways. This is going to be an interesting battle because as you mentioned how the points are awarded, the one of Sam Mayer being a playoff car, he would love to get past his teammate, that 9 of Brandon Jones. Oh, I like where the one's at right here. A lot of speed on corner exit. We should give him a run down the backstretch. What's he do with it?
Closing in on the 9. Will there be patience? He goes to the bottom of the racetrack, but still has that momentum.
I don't know if he's going to be able to complete a pass on the bottom, though. I think you're going to have to try to get to his right rear quarter panel.
This 43 car is holding Brandon Jones up just a little bit.
Jones in the middle of the track and drifts up the racetrack. And Sam Mayer still down toward the bottom.
All right, coming to 2 to go this next time by. So, he's got about 5 sets of corners. This being the first right here. Does he go back to the top? He does. At the top of your screen, the 8 of Sammy Smith goes a lap down because of that damage earlier.
First playoff driver that is a lap down. Shane Van Gisbergen's running 24th. There are 26 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, Jesse Love and A.J. Allmendinger are the other 2 playoff drivers that are not in the top 10 in position to get points at this stage in.
Mayer a little bobble there through 1 and 2, and so not able to close that gap. There's Sheldon Creed and Austin Hill, used to be teammates, no longer. As it's 1 to go in the stage for Aric Almirola, he goes across the stripe. That battle for 6 continuing. You mentioned Almirola behind the wheel of the 20. He's been there and has been able to take the 22 victory lane. 5 different drivers behind the wheel of the 20 so far this year, and 4 of them have won. So we see the 18 pulling away, and a smoking issue on the front stretch, and that was the 19. So problems with Taylor Gray.
Yeah, he had reported he had lost a cylinder, had lost some engine power. You just never know what it is. Whatever it is has finally completely gone south. That'll be the end of the day for the 19. It's going to be nerve-wracking if you drive a Toyota. They've actually had more engine problems this year than I can remember in this series specifically, and another one breaks here in the playoffs.
That will end stage 1. You see the oil, that fluid on the camera there of the 26. So it is Aric Almirola winning the stage. A lot of chaos early here in the first playoff race for the Xfinity Series.
I didn't.
Oh, this whole time nobody could hear me. Welcome in, everybody. Wow. I'm a lame-o. Had the system muted. Alright, so here we go. Sorry about you guys not being able to hear me. What a lame-o.
Action. First, it's ACC football as Wake Forest takes on NC State. Then
back to Kansas,
it's off to Talladega
Kansas
as the NASCAR
SpeedWay.
Xfinity Series. Those playoffs are heating up. Finally, we finish up in
just
Corvallis
finished
as Colorado
one.
State will face Oregon State. CW Sports Saturday. That's next week, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on the CW. And there's the 8 of Sammy Smith on pit road, continuing to do work to that right rear quarter panel. Marty.
Yeah, Rick, I talked to Mike Bumgardner, and he said it's actually hurt pretty bad, Steve, so they're going to try and do the best they can here with damage. Already went down a lap, so there's really nothing for them to lose by coming down pit road when pit road is closed, because they have some significant repairs ahead of them, clearly, if they want to be competitive. And you see that piece that they fashioned, really, while that green flag run was going on, they could just fasten on there with pop rivets, which is what they're doing right now.
Yeah, they're going to try to make it as good as new.
Some work
but,
on
you
the
know,
number 8
it's going to be a
car
difficult
right there in the pit.
task. You see
Get
some.
that screwed on there.
Steve, what's the ruling on that? I know you're not
Can't
allowed to add parts.
You can't add parts and pieces, so most of it should be tape. The only exception would be if it's the tail piece. You must run a tail, so you can replace parts of the tail and the deck lid because they're required. If the quarter panel itself was missing, you would just be out of luck because that's not a required part. But the tail is required, unlike last week at Bristol where the 7 was running around without a tail because it was a short track. Here at the high-speed tracks, you have to have a tail, so for that reason, they'll let you kind of replace that component.
And Kim, what about Sam Mayer in the 1?
Yeah, as we look at him, he runs in the 5th position. That's where he started, so he's been able to hold his starting position, but he talked about how sensitive his car is up in the rubber, mostly loose, so they will look to tighten him up when they get that first pit stop. But you guys will like this in the booth. I asked him kind of what's his confidence level headed into the playoffs. They're looking at it as a reset. And he said, what we have to do in this first round is play the equivalent of par golf, is what he said they need to do on track.
That's not easy, by the way. I'm just going to, speaking from experience.
Bogey golf seems pretty attainable. He is a professional, though, so.
That's right.
But not a professional golfer.
No. The next generation of WWE superstars will have a new home when NXT moves to the CW. You can catch the premiere this Tuesday. And speaking of catching things, Cole Custer caught up with a couple of the stars of NXT. Kalani Jordan and Ethan Page were here to say hello to the driver of the 00.
Trying to get you a cage match, Rick.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, well, it's not done yet. It's still in the works, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't want to take on either one there. But great to have them. See them right now on top of the pit box, enjoying this race from Kansas.
Not the race to get into a tussle with Cole Custer.
No.
I don't know. The Cole Custer mustache was intimidating enough.
He's got some muscle behind him. So now the crews are ready to take on this first break that we will see most of the cars make their way onto pit road. This is the lead lap cars as they come on to progressive pit road. And Marty.
Brandon Jones finished fourth in the stage, Rick. He said it started way too free, and you saw him lose those spots, but he said actually got better the longer they ran. Aric Almirola with the stage win, and you can just hear the veteran presence in his voice. He said the car was way too free, but let's just put 4 tires on it and see where the track goes, Kim.
As you look at the bottom left of your screen, the 00 of Cole Custer, he said, I am on top of the racetrack. I'm lacking overall grip. Way too free. You see the chassis adjustment. They'll tighten them up a bit with 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. Also a chassis adjustment. Bottom right, 81 of Chandler Smith. He was complaining just way too tight. He needed more front turn, but he said, do not sacrifice my rear lateral. He said, I could not run the fence like the 20 because I was so tight. As we look at the race off pit road, great pit stop by Cole Custer and his crew.
Yep. Cole Custer wins the race off progressive pit road, gaining 2 spots, 5 spots for that 21 crew. They have been outstanding all season long. We've got the restart when we come back.
All right, so we'll have restart on the return. All right, so when we come back here, guys and gals, well, looks like we got Custer. Cole Custer is currently leading. Austin Hill in second. Sam Meyer third. Sheldon Creed fourth. And Chandler Smith will round out your top 5. Your remaining top 10 will be Aric Almirola, Riley Herbst, Justin Allgaier, Parker Retzoff. Like I said, I am sorry if I butcher these names. I'll get them better once I start hearing them used.
Chat. Less likes,
All right,
more
so we
love,
are back.
more Snapchat. Progressive.
Track.
Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit progressive.com. And by
Welcome in,
Toyota.
everybody. Appreciate you
Let's go
stopping
places.
in.
So the way stage 1 ended, and you see the 16 on pit road now and taking a little bit longer stop here, they had an issue.
Well, he was penalized during those pit stops, he had a penalty, uncontrolled tire.
Alan
so they came
Dinger.
down pit road to make some adjustments.
Allmendinger.
It's going to change a lot of things
Pit
for
road
this
penalty,
restart.
uncontrolled
and Marty,
tire.
More issues for the 16?
So, maybe sometimes a penalty can help you out, right, Rick? So, see what they did on this stop. AJ just saying, I have absolutely no grip on the racetrack. So, they made the call. Alex Young said, hey, let's push a spring rubber in the left rear. We have it in there. We can push it in if you want. And AJ said, whatever you want. I just need help kind of everywhere.
So that's a longer stop. The reason they did it now, because Jeff pointed out they're under penalty. They're going to start
Custer,
at the tail
Hill,
of the field
Smith,
because of the other
Allo.
issues. So I won't say it's an advantage, but you have to continue to crew chief, right? So if you've lost your track position, come in, take the left rear tire,
and
put
Meyer,
that spring rubber in,
top
which will
five.
increase the spring rate of the left rear, adding some dynamic wedge, kind of basically trying to push that left rear tire into the racetrack to add some grip. The 9 back down pit road. This is interesting. Oh, looks like they're going to put some lug nuts. Looks like 2 lug nuts on the right front. So I'm okay with left side lug nuts because it's a very much timing thing. You're tightening the wheel while they're dropping the jack. I have no patience for right side lug nuts as a crew chief. I used to lose my mind because you don't leave the right side until you have lug nuts on, right? Adam Wall right here doing the right thing, bringing his team down. Now, I'm not saying that the task is easy. It's very difficult to be on a pit crew. It is very difficult. But you still have to do the job. Leaving before the job's done, leaving the right side early just doesn't help the situation.
As they run, you see on the left side of your screen, Cole Custer goes to the top of this list because he's leading the race. There's a Riley Herbst fan. That puts Shane Van Gisbergen below that cut line. Parker Kligerman down there as well.
Yeah, remember,
Right, so we're on
Smith
lap
and Aric
53
Almirola
of 200.
Came down pit road first and second. They came out 5th and 6th. So
we're in the
not
8th
pit stops
lap
they were
of
looking
the
for.
stage
Austin Hill
2,
came
and we
out
are
at
still
second.
under
That is
caution.
the best pit crew in the Xfinity Series, period. And that is a major
Looks like
advantage
we will be
because
going
with the
green
single
here
lug nut and
momentarily.
cup, reliable, fast pit stops in Xfinity have become more difficult because Xfinity teams typically use cup teams, and it's a challenge to go from changing 1 single lug nut on Sundays to 5 on Saturdays.
Welcome in. I
And
appreciate you
we
stopping
see a
in.
lot of inconsistent pit stops during the Xfinity races.
So the field 2 by 2 once again as we get ready for the start of stage 2. Cole Custer on the outside in the 00. Austin Hill on the inside in the 21. And stage 2 is underway.
Here we go. We are green light.
Cole Custer. This is the only racetrack that he does not have a top 10 finish on. Is there 3 wide for position behind him?
Custer, Meyer, Hill. Custer, Meyer, Smith, Hill, Hurst. Top 5.
Custer surging out front. Sam Mayer takes second. Austin Hill trying to
Custer
take
putting
third.
some distance between him and second place.
Chandler Smith fighting on the outside in the 81. Sheldon Creed in the 18 to the inside of the 98 of Riley Herbst. And Daniel Dye had a little issue here on the restart. He's in the 10. See him right on the white line. Full contact there.
Oh, Daniel Dye getting
What
a
a
little
save.
loose.
This racetrack, everybody fans out, trying to make positions on restarts, and Daniel saw the 5 of Alfredo coming and went down there to block him and almost got himself wrecked.
Winner of stage 1. Aric Almirola trying to work his way back up toward the front. There's Corey Hyde
Almirola
in the 26
moving up
with
to
the
a
Toyota
6.
on board. Hearing him have to get out of the gas there.
For all of the drivers reading through the radios, we just talked about the overall lack of grip. You know, not necessarily a handling situation as loose or tight, just very low grip. As you see the 7 dive under the 18, that's when you could be very vulnerable. You get down underneath the car on the outside, and it's easy to spin your car out.
A little surprised about the 7-car pace. You know, we finished 8th in that first stage. But in 8th position now, you would expect that team to be toward the front.
Fight for second between the 81 of Chandler Smith, and that fight ends quickly as he takes the position away from Sam Mayer. We'll see if that momentum from the high line will help Mayer in the 1 take the spot back as they go down the backstretch, and Mayer looks to the inside now of Chandler Smith.
Man,
Custer, Smith, Mayer, and Hill.
To be able to
Custer,
enter the middle
Smith,
of the racetrack
Meyer,
and just
Hill,
turn
and
down
Hurst
to the bottom
to
in
the
the middle
top
of the corner tells me your car is
five
doing what
front
you want
runners.
to do. As we see the 20, that black car, yellow numbers on the roof of Aric Almirola, trying to get to the outside of the 7. He's going to be able to do it right here in the middle of the corner. Almost just gasses up to take the position, not allowing the 7 to have all the real estate on corner exit.
Yeah, Aric in that 20, he's been willing to go to the outside very quickly after restarts. Doing it again this run.
And the 7 of Allgaier is on the inside. Doesn't have as much racetrack there, Marty.
Allgaier, I agree with you guys. Kind of surprised by the pace of that car. In stage 1, he said, I'm just in a 4-wheel drift on corner exit.
Allgaier
He
in
said,
points
I cannot
leader.
go anywhere near
Currently
the fence.
sitting in
Justin
8th
Allgaier
position.
normally doesn't love to run the fence, Jeff, but he's willing to go out there. He said, I just cannot do that today. So when you can't run the fence at Kansas, how much of a detriment is that? That's what we're seeing here for Justin Allgaier.
Well, early in the runs, Marty, it's not that bad. But as you get later in the runs, it really is an advantage to be able to run the outside right against the wall. But you could see how much pace he had on the 20 right there when the 20 caught the 18. So here it is again. So running the bottom, you just cannot carry the pace from the center of the corner off. You just get beaten down the straightaway so badly. There, the 7 just committed to running the top. Hey, I know I got to run there. What happens if I try it?
Now he gets to the door of the 20 of Almirola. And that's for that 7th position. Creed running 6th up against the wall, but look at this pass. He's not going to slide all the way up in front of Creed, and that will lose the position now to the 18 once again, and the 20.
The 20 of Almirola won that first stage as he slides up. A pit stop is what got the 20 back here. I mean, you look at the comparison between the 00 and the 20. Everything's pretty similar except for this middle column right here. You look at that. 13.8 versus 18.0. So over 4 seconds lost in the pit box for the 20, and now he's mired back in traffic.
Still 28 laps to go in stage 2. Again, stage 2, 45 laps, just like stage 1 was, but then the final stage is 110 laps.
That's when not being able to run the top is really going to hurt the 7. When you get in that final stage and you have to run 50 laps or so on a set of tires, I just think the top is almost a requirement.
How about that bright yellow car? All right, first let's look at this. Almirola, a little wave. Thanks for working with me. Almirola, we talked about the advantage of being a not full-time Xfinity driver. One of the disadvantages is you don't want to get into a situation where you end up with a wreck with a guy in the playoffs, right? And so you race aggressively, but at the same time, you try to be smart. You try to respect them. See the 45 car with a problem.
Yeah, and that's Brad
Welcome in.
Into the backstretch, too. I don't believe that 45 is coming back around.
Let's see if he gets to the entrance to pit road.
He's got a ways to go.
The one thing, if a caution does come out, it would be great for Sammy Smith, and there it is. Sammy Smith was in position for the free pass. The caution coming out will give him that lap back, and he'll be back on the lead lap. So Cole Custer will give up the 7/10 of a second lead that he had over Chandler Smith. And he shut the car off.
Yeah.
Even though they have enough fuel, they're still going to save fuel.
Save it. It also cools the engine dramatically by cycling it. You basically shut the car off. The water stalls in the radiator. You coast around. That water overcools, and you cycle it back into the engine. Do that a few times. You can get the overall temperature of the engine down. Helps for the restart. Every quarter horsepower matters. Engine guys love all that attention to the temperatures.
So with only, you know, 25 laps
Number
to go in this stage.
45
It'll be
being
interesting to see if
pushed by
somebody
tow
gambles
truck.
here. You know, Jesse Love and Allmendinger, do they need to put some tires on here, see if they can go get some stage points, or even does the leader pit?
Brad Perez brings out the caution. This was, by the way, his first start on a 1.5-mile racetrack.
All right, so that is lap 21 in stage 2. Hey, how you doing there, Focelli? Pew pew. What's up, buddy? It's kind of a graveyard in here today.
That's because he needs major help with his car. He said entry into 3 is too free, but overall the car just builds way too tight. They're going to take a round in the left rear and then pull out Packer while they're on this stop too. He also said he was hitting the splitter in 1 and 2 for Jesse Love.
So for Jesse Love, 4 sets of tires in the bins. They're going to use their second set here, and just
we've not been running
that with
a whole
most
lot
cars not changing tires, the fresher tires have absolutely more grip on a very slick racetrack. Drive up here and finish the top 3 or 4 of the
We're
stage.
in lap 58 of 200.
97, I don't think they're wanting to use a set of tires. They're just continuing to work on this car for SVG. He was on the lead lap, inside the top 25 or 26.
What were they looking at on the right rear there, Steve?
Well, I see some scrapes above the right rear. Either that or maybe they're making a adjustment. Pretty hard to tell from up here, Marty.
Chassis adjustment, Steve, just trying to take a big swing at it here for Shane Van Gisbergen, who said, I'm just so loose, I'm out of control. And to echo what you guys are saying, every driver is talking about how there is an absolute lack of grip here at Kansas today, getting warmer as the race goes on. So I guess, Jeff, you would think that grip would continue to fall away as the race goes on?
Well, certainly the hotter the racetrack gets and the more rubber that gets put in the racetrack can make the track much more slick. And the wind, that's another factor, too. The wind's been whipping around here today. That completely changes the way your car drives as well.
Penalty for the 97. They had too many men over the wall there. They're working on the car. Guys, we're going to take another look at the Snapchat driver update with Ryan Ellis and that paint scheme. Fun, colorful composition of the paint scheme. Again, honoring the importance of connection and bringing fans, friends, and communities together, much like the
Must have been
sport of NASCAR
coasting
does.
in.
Butterflies, horses. What else we got on that?
A lot of fun and love. Brian Ellis, a third-generation driver. Getting ready for the green flag. There'll be 21 laps remaining in stage 2.
69 of 200 laps
Cole
done.
Custer on the outside, and Sam Mayer will start on the inside. Chandler Smith will be behind Cole Custer, and that puts Riley Herbst behind Sam Mayer.
It's going to be very interesting to see the two-car of Love all the way back there in 25th. Can he use those new tires?
Back into the restart zone.
All right, here we go. We're going green. Got him 3 wide.
Fanning out 3 wide again. Connor Zilich in the 88 with a pretty good restart, but now drifting up the racetrack.
Custer in first, Meyer second. Oh, number 7.
He's going to make contact with the inside
Allgaier.
wall.
And he's going to smash
hard
the inside
contact.
wall.
Allgaier coming
We are
into
under
this first
the
race
fourth caution of the
playoffs
day.
as the number 1 seed.
Just bring it right to us.
We've talked about this track, Rick. It is a disruptor in the playoffs. It just creates havoc. Last week, went in with a huge lead in the regular season champ, had an awful night, and the bad
Your
luck
points
continues for
leader.
the 7.
Let's see
And
what
right
happened.
here, the 7 goes to turn underneath the 18. 18 was having trouble.
They
and
just stole it there.
Around
He
the
lost
7
it and
goes,
slid around and
that
come into
looks
the
harmless.
inside wall and
But
smoked
that
it.
contact with the inside wall is not.
It looks to me like the 18 and the 7 were both basically wrecking. Both ran out of real estate, and the 7 had to keep turning the wheel left and spins out. I think he gets arrow tight. There's a car on his left side, Jeff, that I think drives the 7 up the racetrack, not on purpose, but where the 88 is, I think it kind of drives the 7 up the racetrack.
Yeah, watch the 88, the bright yellow car on the bottom. Right there, he loses the bottom. That kind of stacked him up behind, and then the 18 of Creed just gets loose.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Zilich, while it did affect the whole thing, I don't think he's a cause of any of it. I think it's the 18 just getting loose, which then gets the 7 to check up. He's in a really tough spot right here.
That's right. It's just simply aggressive restarts and a little bit of contact, and as soon as that gets made, it shoves the left front of the 7 down to the inside, and there it is. Big damage.
Man.
This racetrack, and everybody talks about just want to get out of the first round. It's easier said than done because of things like this at this racetrack. It's just aggressive restarts.
But, you know, I'll add that this is not the speed we expected out of the 7. While you can't prevent wrecks or guarantee avoiding wrecks, they happen less from first, second, third, fourth. When you get back there, 8th, 9th, 10th, you're stacked up. I mean, if you have restarts like that enough, Marty, eventually you're going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, and before that, under the last caution, Justin Allgaier said, I have so little grip, it feels like I'm on a different tire compound compared to everybody else. You know, oddly enough, this team should have some practice with this because last week it was pretty similar damage. That was on the right front last week at Bristol. This time it's on the left front coming down pit road. Jim Pullman said, I'm not sure we can fix it. And unlike last week, Steve, they don't seem to be in a hurry. They let the field go by. Justin Allgaier has already gone.
They are working on Allgaier's part in
They're
the
going to
pits.
really focus on this
They're
left
cutting
front
parts
damage,
out with
trying
a
to get it
sawzall.
fixed, and we'll see if they can indeed get it fixed. But already a lap down, and possibly they can't go 2 laps down, right, Steve? So Jim Pullman's going to have to pull the trigger and send his driver around here in a moment.
Hammer is
I
yelling.
don't think they're worried about 2 laps or 3 laps or 4 laps. I think they're worried about re-entering the race. Minimum speed here at Kansas is going to be nowhere near as easy to reach as it is a track like Bristol. I mean, I'm wondering if this 7 car is going to make any more laps today up to speed enough to remain in the race.
So it has been a tough start to the playoffs and even before the playoffs for the 7 of Justin Allgaier.
Allgaier smoking the wall, so his day's not done, but there's definitely not going to be no points winning with that kind of damage. Hey, welcome in, everybody. I appreciate you stopping by. Oh, I see people are typing now. No audio.
All the drama of the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
It might have been a commercial when you were on. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing?
Home to catch the faces of racing's future as they seek to take the lead and etch their names in history.
Yeah, well, his mediocreness is done today. I mean, he'll continue to race, but man, that car took some damage.
CW Game Night starts Thursday, October 3rd, first at 8 p.m. Eastern. Raymond Simone hosts the classic crossword game Scrabble, where I'll work on my spelling. And then it's followed by Trivial Pursuit at 9 p.m., hosted by LeVar Burton. It's game night.
Can you hear it now, Chelly?
Once again, caution comes out, and the Whelen caution lights are on. Whelen,
welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you stopping in.
NASCAR, trusted to protect first responders.
We are currently under caution after Justin Allgaier.
But I may or may not read a lot of the Trivial Pursuit cards just so I have a chance of keeping up with them when we play the game. I even have Trivial Pursuit coasters.
Okay, good deal.
Which is good because it's like
you got spun out.
I won't say it's useless
on the restart,
but it's information
and
I definitely didn't retain from school, so I need a little bit of heads up.
I go back to Cheers and I think of Cliff Clavin and all the information that he always gave us. I thought that would definitely be good in Trivial Pursuit.
It's hard to believe I was more the norm.
Norm!
I was more than Norm. Not a lot of useful information. Everybody happy to see me. Yeah, I wasn't really the Cliff Clavin of the group.
Understand. So already, and again, a little over halfway through the second
our battle
stage,
cam back up.
And these playoff drivers have had issues.
I don't know why it keeps buffering when I run the cam.
That's right. Sammy's got damage to the right rear quarter panel. They've
kind of weird that it does that
multiple times. Trying to get it fixed up.
And then the 16 of AJ Allmendinger.
Looks like we're going to have some cars pitting.
Penalty. Came in a couple times. And then Allgaier. Big damage to the left front of the 7. He's back on the racetrack. We'll see if he can.
Man, did he hit that wall hard.
Crash clock.
But they seem to have fixed.
So the 7 of Allgaier
he's out there running.
Minimum speed.
Nice job of repairs. It looks good. It'll all be if there's enough clearance or if the car is going to hit the ground when they try to run at speed.
Getting ready for the restart. It'll be 15 laps remaining in stage 2.
All right, so we got 15 left in stage 2. We are on the 76. Here we go. Let's go racing, boys.
And look at him fan out.
4 wide.
3 wide.
We got Custer Mayer just took first over Custer.
He'll hold the lead, but for how long? Here comes Aric Almirola in the 20.
Almirola moving up.
To the inside of Cole Custer.
Almirola taking second. Back to third.
And the 7.
Yeah, flat left front, hit the wall very hard going into turn 3, trying to make minimum speed. I believe.
No brakes, just FYI.
Yeah, no brakes. Damage is
no
done.
Brakes.
This will be the end of the day for the 7
day's
cars.
done.
We see the battle on the top continue.
That 88 of Zillage, that yellow car, he came out of that in 5th place. We saw him early in the race struggling on restarts. Did a great job.
Justin Allgaier. He is
now
done
in the middle
for
of the
the day.
racetrack. That's Austin Hill in the 21. Tucked in behind him, Connor Zilic running 5th.
How disappointing.
Mayer, Custer, Almirola, Chandler Smith, and Zilic, the top 5. Take a look at what happened to the 7.
7 is out of the race.
Yeah,
He
obviously
certainly
a ton
is,
of
Kenna.
damage. May you have a tire go down. It was hard to tell. Yeah, left front goes down.
The emoji sad.
The wall. That's a hard hit.
You mentioned it, Steve. You're better off staying on pit road and getting it fixed right than you are worrying about getting out there and losing more laps because of those things like that.
More than likely, that's going to put Allgaier's finishing position in 36th, which will be 1 point. Allgaier did gain 3
the video,
points in stage 1.
It's just when it's buffering a lot.
So a total of 4 points for the day.
I cover it up.
See the 2 car, that red and white car, remember, he stopped and put tires on. 12 to go in this stage.
Yeah, I don't know why it does this buffering
Jesse Love
crap.
trying to get all of the good out of these.
I have good internet.
Yeah, the problem is the goody's gone. I mean, it's a slight advantage, but if the tires were an advantage, he should have easily been able to drive by the 48 right on the bottom. He couldn't do it. The 48 battles back on the outside. So it's kind of worst case scenario. Now you've used up a set of tires, and I'm not sure you've gained a whole lot for it.
Love running 13th, and again the top 10 at the end of stage 2 will all get points, stage points.
Almirola trying to recover from that slow pit stop at the end of stage 1. He won stage 1. Can he battle back and go and win stage 2? Trying to run down Sam Mayer out there leading.
So Mayer, Almirola, Custer, Smith, and
look how it just accelerates through the middle of the corner.
Zilch make your top 5 runners.
20 right up against the wall.
You got
there.
Hurt, Hill,
right along with Cole Custer.
Hurst, Creed, German. I can't even pronounce that dude's name.
Under 10 laps to go, and Cole Custer
Benedetto
trying to close the gap
in
on
9th,
Almirola.
and then Brandon Jones rounds out your top 10.
Mayer with the 7/10 of a second advantage over the 20.
I'll tell you, for the next race,
Of lap times,
I think I'll be
remember,
looking
unlike the Cup
for
cars, they don't have digital dashes, so
a different way to run the
information
counts.
has to be reported over the radio, conveyed to the driver.
Instead of running through a
Custer says,
browser,
I
I
don't
think
need a lap time to know I'm better
I'll
than
run
the
it
20.
through
He's getting bigger in my windshield.
screen caps.
Doing it a lane lower as well. Pretty impressed with this 0-0.
You can go to the throttle.
All right, so we got 8 laps to go on stage 2.
Car didn't make enough grip to stay in it. While this battle's going on, the one of Sam Mayer's driving away from him.
Custer using the bottom of the racetrack, but then you see the momentum of that high line for Almirola as it pulls away on the front stretch. Under 7 laps to go now in stage 2.
Running about 8,000 RPMs, 8,200.
Right now.
Custer got up to
81 all the way to the bottom at 3 and 4. Still 3 back.
Custer currently in 3rd.
Yeah, front and rear again.
All that information to Cole is to really let Cole manage the offense versus defense, right, Jeff? So now Cole, obviously he knows what he's working on with the 20. But the information of the 81.
Hey, remember, guys, if you haven't done so yet, please hit that thumbs up for us. And if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe to the channel. There is definitely more racing to come.
That takes a lot
I
of
realize I'm not a real professional at this race car announcing.
Still need to check it to make sure.
Streaming, but I tell you what, I'm a very driven person. When I start something, I put
really documented the 2-car came and put on a set of tires. The gamble
these streams
was
will only get
points.
better.
Well, the 39 of Ryan Sega's 11th.
Because I won't
Matt
stop
DiBenedetto
until I
10th.
continue to get better.
Jones 9th, Creed 8th. The 2-car
if that
definitely has not
interests
gone as high
you,
as they had hoped he would on those new tires. But to not score any points at the end of this stage would be a huge blow to the 2-car. See if he can pull it off here with only 4 laps to go, 5 laps to go, just a short run left.
Yeah,
so we got Mayer, Almirola, Custer, C. Smith,
running where he wants to be. So you see when
Hill,
they drive down here in the corner.
Hill's in 6th, I guess.
The car in front is kind of taking the air away from him. He needs clean air to make this pass on the bottom. Not going to be able to make it happen.
Didn't happen there. He's got about 3 laps, still 3.5 laps to see if he can get by the 39, and he's got to get by the 38
today just
as well.
Started out unlucky.
Be able to score a point at the end of the stage.
Wife and I had an appointment we had to go do today.
Sam
we
Mayer
had
said the sport, it's very
we
humbling.
had prior
especially when you're an 18-year-old
things, and on the way home
himself,
on the interstate, we
said you
blew
learn
a
quick.
tire.
That's one of the things that he's trying to do is learn every time he gets behind the wheel.
So we had to wait for the
see if he can get
car
better,
service to come and change
because
it.
now he has a championship out in front of him, but right behind him, he's got a hard.
You might ask, how come I couldn't change it myself?
Aric Almirola, 2 laps to go,
That's
and Almirola
the one. That's
get
what
there.
we pay
What's the
for
difference on corner exit?
with our insurance is
See
roadside
right here, Almirola
assistance.
puts it right on the boards. And
I'll tell you
there.
what,
See
the amount of money we pay a
down.
month for insurance, I'm going to use
gives
it when I need
Almirola a
to.
little bit of clean air.
That, and it's a little rough for me to get around.
Almirola about a
Matter
half
of fact,
a lap
today
lower.
I'm kind of feeling
a lane lower, excuse me. And now he drifts back up just behind the one more time around for stage 2.
Great adjustment by Sam Mayer, getting all the way against the fence.
Hey, Crusher,
He just
what's
has
up,
to shut the
bro?
exit of 2 off, because I think he can beat him back to the line off 4. He just needs to stay right there, kind of shut
Long
that
time
air
no
off. I think
chat
he's
and see,
okay now.
bro.
Here comes Almirola. Dives to the bottom of the racetrack. The final time
damn.
through 3 and 4 for this
Battle
stage.
Cam messing up again, as usual. I don't get it.
He drifts
It's
up.
gotta
He's
be-
not gonna
it's
have
gotta
enough.
be
Sam
the-
Mayer is going to win stage 2.
That's off the NASCAR.com's website.
Second stage win of 2024. The 98 goes around.
Oh, number 98 spinning out. He's in the grass.
Oh, there was definite contact. I couldn't tell who changed lanes and who's at
First,
fault,
he's
but there was
back on the
definite
road, but he
contact
seems to
between
have
the
saved
21
it.
and the
No
98.
damage.
And that cost him stage points.
The 98 was kind of middle of the racetrack. The 21 was running the bottom. Let's take a look
Oh,
on corner exit. The 18
getting better, I guess.
The 98 doesn't go up to leave a lane for the 18.
Every time I go to the doctor, though, brother, I keep finding out
Yeah.
Even as the
more
21
and
got
more
to the
bad
back
things.
bumper. Herbst was loose.
You haven't been
slides through the
around.
grass and doesn't gain any stage
It's been about
points.
a month now, 3 weeks to a month. I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure.
Derrick Henry.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout.
So the old body's kind of giving up on me finally.
Okay. And this is auto again, right?
Oh no! Hey, this is my living room.
So, yeah, well, it is what it is, you know. You know how I feel about all that. Just live life to the fullest for what you can. God has a purpose for us all. So, yeah, it's been a little rough. How you been? All right, so stage 2 is complete.
Was able to win stage 2. Almirola
we finish
won
that off
stage
in
1.
caution.
The end of stage 2, very interesting for the 98 here.
98, yeah, go. So
Herbst gets loose, but when he gets loose,
21 spins him out by
the racetrack and makes contact
pretty much pitting him.
Left rear quarter panel and
it looked like a police pit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it any other way than the 21 gets the 98, right? I don't know if he means to hit him, but he's trying to use the corner exit, obviously trying to get up the hill, trying to make sure the 18 doesn't get to his right rear quarter panel. That probably cost him another position and either misjudged it or thought he was clear, but either way, he hits the 98. The 98 goes around. See, I think the 21 is thinking the 18 is coming with momentum, so he tries to get in between the two of them. Let's hear what Herbst has to say.
Trying to go find the 21 car. We don't need a penalty for still in the lead lap. We can get past the pit stop here and gain spots. We're starting stage 3. Trying to go find...
Oh, he's talking about getting 21
and
car.
Let's go back to Progressive Pit Road and Marty.
Yeah, Rick, Riley Herbst not very happy with Austin Hill right now. First and second in the 2 stages for Aric Almirola, and they asked him how the car was. He said, honestly, it was a bunch of short runs. I wouldn't do much. And his quote at the very end, I have what I need, Kim.
So we have a huge number of cars coming into the
pit. The 20 of Aric Almirola was beating you center exit because he was on the board. Sam said, I'm too free through the middle to do what the 20 did. I'm happy with it. No adjustments for the 1. You see bottom left, 00, Cole Custer. He just said, I was way too tight around the wall. In fact, too tight everywhere. They'll make a track bar adjustment, taste fresh Goodyears, and then Chandler Smith finishing up his stop on your bottom right. Chandler was just saying that he fired up a little free on entry, but built pretty good. Needs better drive off as they had a really good pit stop for the 81.
And there is the race off Progressive Pit Road. Chandler Smith gaining 3 spots.
Yeah, day to day, absolutely.
Guys
no, Kenneth, I have not heard from David Thomas yet. I've seen nothing.
Discussing what WrestleMania could look like.
When I shipped that hat, it went to the address that he gave me, and it doesn't exist. So I'm going through the process of it's being shipped back, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to credit the money back. I don't know. So we're just going to have another giveaway. I'll be streaming tonight's Braves game and probably tomorrow night's. I just haven't scheduled it. I got to get it scheduled up after the race. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. I don't know what happened to him. It's like the guy fell off the face of the earth. But yeah, it came back and said address doesn't exist. When you put the address in the Google, it's like in the middle of the street. It doesn't exist. Nobody's gonna mess up their address when you're being asked to give somebody your address to get a prize or have an item shipped to you. You're not gonna mess that up. So I don't know why he gave me a bogus address. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to say that he purposely did it, because I don't know. I mean, I really hope the guy's okay and that nothing's happened to him. No radio required, they say.
Xfinity Series, it will start without the number 1 seed in the playoffs. Justin Allgaier, tell us what happened and walk us through the accident when your damage happened.
I wish I could tell you, Marty. We got that restart there, and we went to the top. I thought we were going to be in great shape, and the inside row, I think they got
Allgaier crashed on lap 70.
I still thought the outside row was going to be the right choice, and Sheldon kind of got checked up, and we lifted a couple of times, and you can just see from the momentum. I mean, it's just really weird. I don't know if just the being behind him was just making him that loose or what, but then once we got to corner exit, it took off on me. And from there, I mean, I got to figure out how to not hit the inside wall in that situation. It seemed like it slid forever, and it was super frustrating. But proud of our team, proud of the effort, everybody at Junior Motorsports, everybody on this Brent Professional Ride, Coach Camaro. I don't know that I've had a stretch of races that have been like these last 3 or 4 weeks, and we're not out of it by any stretch. Obviously that's why you do all the work in the regular season to get the bonus points that you can. But we got a long road for the next 2 weeks, and I got the team that can do it. We just got to go have some luck on our side.
We'll see what happens with Justin Allgaier and his race team heading to Talladega next week.
You should have audio
here at Kansas, Rick.
Yeah, 4th straight accident for the driver of the 7 and Justin Allgaier. And I know a lot of race fans and us at the CW here are thinking about.
And that is weird that you're asking for audio when the audio's on. Are you asking
Helene,
audio for the cam?
If you can help, if you'd like to help, you can make a donation. You can go to redcross.org or text Helene to 90999. So many people in Georgia, the Carolinas, East Tennessee, all affected by that storm that went through. And Marty, I know even officials here in NASCAR live in that area
really
and are ready to help out once again.
Yeah, Rick, I wanted to introduce everyone to Brad Ball, affectionately known as Big Fella among the NASCAR official community, working his normal spot at pit entry right there. And he is a retired police officer in Newport, Tennessee. And I got to talk to Brad earlier today. So when he gets back home on Monday morning after working the Cup race tomorrow, he's going to go back and he's going to work with the police force. And I said, what are you going to do, Brad? And he said, I'm going to do whatever I can do to help out my neighbors, my family, my friends. And that is what Newport, Tennessee looks like today.
Oh,
after
wow.
the dam
Newport,
broke yesterday.
Tennessee,
He said he's talked to lots of friends and family. Fortunately, his family is all safe. His
I didn't realize it was that bad.
How long are you going to do it? He said,
prayers out to everybody
every day.
affected.
And when I have to come to the track, I'll come to the track next weekend at Talladega. And then Monday after Talladega, I'll be back there. I'll stay months if I have to. That's the dedication it's going to take for everyone to get out of this. And certainly the NASCAR community affected very much as well, Rick, with North Carolina being in the middle of this also. So our thoughts and prayers for everyone, especially those in Newport, Tennessee.
So many people affected.
All right, so we're at lap 97
of
200.
For the restart now. Chandler Smith in the 81 will be on the outside of that 00 of Cole Custer. Sheldon Creed on the outside of row 2.
Let's try running along Cole Custer.
Green flag's back in the air.
All right, we are green flag. Here we go. Let's go racing.
Push from Sheldon Creed, making that 81 surge out in front of the field. Here comes the 00 of Custer once again. He's up to second. And how about Connor Zilich and that yellow 88?
I'm going to try something
He's
here,
in
guys.
third.
Yeah, it's a great battle in the front. Remember, Aric Almirola was at the front of this pack when his caution started. He had a bad pit stop, restarted mid-20.
4 wide back here for position. So many options here at Kansas, all over the racetrack.
We just heard from Justin Allgaier just how quickly it went away for him, and you can only imagine that 48 of Parker Kligerman right in the center of the hornet's nest, the decisions he's having to make and all the different aero situations his car gets put in.
He had a bad pit stop as well. Lost 10 spots during that caution.
With more on the 48 issues, Kim.
Yeah, it was a slow pit stop, but it wasn't necessarily a bad pit stop, meaning there were no mistakes made by the crew. I checked in with crew chief Patrick Donahue. They had some wholesale changes they needed to make to the car, just way too tight. In fact, plowing tight. Parker could not do what he wanted. So after the stop, Patrick Donahue got on the radio, told Parker we got everything done we wanted to. Parker said, I got it. I'm going to make up the spots. And Patrick responded, you can do it. So they're trying to cheer on their driver, but no mistakes on that pit stop, just some kitchen sink that was thrown at the 48 car.
And in that same vein, the 20 of Aric Almirola, they had a pit gun that broke. And so Almirola had to come back to pit road. And that is why he restarted outside the top 15.
He's going to be scared to pit the rest of the day. Twice down pit road, comes in either first or second, comes out outside the top 5, this time outside the top 10.
And for 6th, Ryan Sieg in the 39, Brandon Jones in the 9. Again, Brandon Jones won the pole for today's race earlier today. Jones running 6th. Sieg trying to take that spot away. You saw Sam Mayer in the picture there just behind this group. First race of the playoffs, 12 playoff drivers starting this race with the hope of a championship. And already Allgaier is out. Sammy Smith had an issue. Half of the field of playoff drivers have had something happen to them already in this race as we've just passed the halfway point.
Yeah, with 97 to go this time by, everyone in the field's going to have to pit at least one more time for fuel. They have 2 sets of tires, or most have 2 sets of tires left, so depending on the number of yellows, strategy could come into play.
Steve, are you seeing a big difference in those tires? Would you hold a set back for a late caution, and would it pay off?
Well, I think the field is going to hold a set back, which is why you're going to need them. We saw the 2 of Jesse Love try to put that set on, and there's just nowhere to go, right? You can't use the tires well enough.
Let's try that.
I don't think the 2 has the best car, as he's being attacked right here from the 11 of Josh Williams, the 31 of Parker Etzlaff right behind him. But I think, if there's a caution with 15 or 20 to go and the field puts on tires and you don't, it'd be hard to hold them off.
We're following along with Cole Custer.
The 20 of Almirola doing a nice job recovering, picking off
and
cars.
it's in a bump.
He's back up to 13.
He is so fast, but you cannot keep giving up track position during pit stops. And, you get to the point where you get so far back you can't make it up.
Remember, as they came to the end of stage 2, the 21 and 98 were racing side by side. Take another look. This is a replay. Herbst coming off of pit road out of his stall, then swerves into the 21's pit stall there just to let him know.
Sorry about that while I was repairing.
Here's the radio from Austin Hill's communication.
I know that it doesn't help, but go tell them sorry. I'm sitting there watching the 18. I thought I was clear of the 98. That's 100% on me.
So he's talking about the 18 who was coming off the top, trying to get up in front of them, and I think, it's pretty accurate. It doesn't help. Herbst isn't going to be very interested in his apology, but you could hear he definitely takes credit for it.
Well, if the 98 gets to him later in this race, it would be wise to just let him go. Right? It's not, you do not want to contest that spot to a guy that's already mad at you. One spot's not worth it for what he could cost you. So if Riley is able to get back up there, I think Austin could use some judgment.
I don't know. I think he did it on purpose.
Every position is a point, and right now Riley Herbst is running in the 16th spot, but he's 1 point behind Allmendinger as far as at that cut line.
And there wasn't any obvious damage on the 98, but you never know sliding through the grass. If it messes the splitter up or moves the side skirts. I don't think it takes a winning car completely, out of the race to go laps down, but if it knocks a 1/10 of a second out of your car, and as competitive as this field is, it all adds up.
See, major change. So he clears Parker Kligerman, and even with the extended stop, Parker Kligerman's car is still not doing what he needs it to do.
Kligerman trying to fight back now on the outside. Herbst diving to the bottom of the racetrack.
Welcome, man. I appreciate you guys stopping in. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to
Kligerman
hit
able
that,
to stay on the gas, and he'll stay in front of that 98. But everyone still
every
chases
like
Chandler
helps
Smith.
get the algorithm to start pushing us out, as we are going to start doing more and more racing. Remember, this is only my second NASCAR stream, guys. So it's only going to get better. I'll iron out all the kinks. I'll get used to what I got to do. Hey, be sure to type in the chat, guys. Let me know what you think. Who's your favorite driver? Oh, you know what? That's a bit crazy. I had a chat poll going and it's gone. I'll be sure for the Cup Series race tomorrow that a lot of the hiccups today will hopefully be corrected for that race.
Chandler
Actually,
Smith
we're back to
out in front
Kansas
of the
track.
field here at Kansas.
Back to the Kansas Speedway. Chandler Smith
57 laps. We're going to take a look at the
currently
Xfinity
leading
fastest
the
lap, and it was
race.
turned on lap 99.
We're at
by
115
Chandler
laps of 200.
Over
We got Smith,
171 miles an hour
Smith,
average around
Custer,
this mile and a half.
Zilich, Creed, and
Chandler
Hill
Smith
round out your top
definitely
five,
as
and then the
fast
remaining
as Xfinity
your top
Internet.
10 are Jones, Siege, Meyer, Allen.
Second, the 00 of Cole Custer. The defending series champ enters the playoffs.
Allgaier.
Big momentum off his win a week ago at
think,
Bristol.
and
And trying to have a
Almirola.
quiet day. While a win here would be amazing because it's
Almirola.
automatic advancement.
Like
Doing
I
what
said,
he needs to do, right?
it's
You
a little
scored points, actually finishing third in both the first and the second stage.
Austin
for
Hill, is that who
16
you're rooting for
of
there,
their
Kenneth?
Such valuable stage points. Currently puts him 45 above the cut line. I think he would love to finish
I'm
a race off
disappointed
in that
my
position.
chat poll
Yeah, how about behind him,
disappeared.
this
I don't know what's going on with YouTube. with that
We saw
stuff.
him early in the race trying to figure out this Xfinity car. This is his
I've
second
had to-
start in the Xfinity Series.
I've had to re-add baseball
all sorts
stream
of
ones
traffic.
as well.
These things are hard to drive, and sideways with a big save right here. Look how far around that car
I'll be
is.
right back, everybody.
I could have taken out a lot of cars, and then even a little bit later, still sideways. But he came through that, didn't wreck the car, got the car driving the way he wants to, and now sitting here running third. Remember, he has a total of 2 Xfinity starts, this being the second one. In his first one, he sat on the pole and won the race at Watkins Glen. A lot of people in this sport think that Connor Zilich at 18 years old is the future. He's won in everything that he's done, and now he is trying the Xfinity Series.
Let's do a playoff through the field, and right behind Connor Zilich is Sheldon Creed. We'll start with you, Marty.
Sitting in the 4th position. When I talked to Sheldon earlier this week, I said, what's the goal for round 1? He said, honestly, my round 1 last year was terrible. I know it needs to be much better this year. And so far, it's been kind of a grinded out day for Sheldon Creed. The car's not been fantastic. He's kind of complained about the handling on every run, but on every pit stop, Sam McCauley has slowly made it better. And here he sits in 4th, Kim.
And in 5th, Austin Hill. And, coming into Kansas Speedway, looking at his stats, he's got 11 top 10s in the last 12 races on mile-and-a-halfs. And he told me he feels like people have overlooked their mile-and-a-half program. He thinks that's their team's biggest strength next to their super speedway program. And I also asked him kind of what's his mentality here and what has he learned after the playoff runs he's been in before. And he said we have to be there at the end is what the biggest thing he's learned is. And he said during this run they fired off just a little bit loose, but it's already starting to trend tight. That's Austin Hill in the 5th position. As we jump down to our next playoff driver, Sam Mayer in the 8th position. Sam was so optimistic when I talked to him yesterday, and that's because he feels like this is anyone in the field's championship to win or lose. He said there's not a clear-cut favorite, and that favors them because they did not have a good summer stretch. And in terms of what he's learned, he said you got to be more locked in and methodical about every single lap in the playoffs. You cannot get lazy. Marty, right now you just said it fired up a little free on this run.
Really, first time all day, A.J. Allmendinger's been in the top 10, Kim. He said it fired off much better. But here's a quote from the Dinger. He said, I am literally turning right all the way through the corner. And yes, all these corners turn left. That's how
so
A.J. Allmendinger is. But I go back to what he told me earlier
Custer,
this week. He said, listen, if we can finish top 6 at Kansas, I'll feel much better
top
about
leaders.
our situation going to Talladega.
Top 5
not quite there yet, but in the top 10,
of
Kim.
the race.
And as we look at Parker Kligerman currently running in the 13th position, we talked about that long stop during the previous caution. They did so much.
Smith running first for the points playoff right now. Custer with a plus 46, Hill with a plus 33, Meyer a plus 22, Creed plus 16, Allgaier plus 5, Hurst plus 3, and Ron something. I have a hard time pronouncing a lot of these names. Plus 1.
Oh! Riley Herbst in the 16 now in the wall. I'm hearing Rick.
Actually, it was 26 of Corey Heim. Yeah, and it might have
saved
been
it
at the hands of Parker Kligerman.
He was put into the wall, but he saved it, guys. Wow, that was good driving.
Got into the wall. They were
wow, that was great driving at that speed.
Well, they're all stacked up on top of each other right here. The 98 behind the 48, 48 behind the 26, 26 of Heim. Just
oh no, he just lost it. He just got squirrely. I thought the 40. I thought the 48 bumped him, but he didn't.
The positioning of the 48 car to the 26 takes the air off the spoiler, and around he goes.
And we stay green even after this. Look at the wheel movement that Corey Heim had to make there.
When you can hear the tires squealing from in the car, that's loose.
Yeah.
I'm going to take your word on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to ride on board.
And Aric Almirola into the wall also in that 20.
Yeah, he's trying to find that last 5% to make up for that slower pit stop. He's inside the top 10, and I think he knows he has a car to win the race, and that's why you're starting to see him push.
Race cam's just terrible.
26, after that big slide, has come to the attention of his pit crew. We'll get him 4 tires. So 76 to go. I expect pit stops with about 55 to go. I will say Chandler Smith, his mirror is getting a little bit bigger with the 00 of Cole Custer. Some of it was due to some lap traffic. I thought the 81 didn't get through lap traffic quite as well as the 00. But you have this 92 in between them. And that's what happens, right? The 00 runs down kind of right behind the 92.
Dawson Cram in the 92. He's being scored 2 laps down.
So here's the 20. We saw him in the wall. Now he's got damage. He's going to have to come to pit road here.
We're going to go back to battle cam.
Steve, trying to find that extra 5% with the bad pit stop and just overstepped his bounds, got in the wall. Looks like the right rear is low.
Yeah, right rear losing air. I don't see any, I mean, the damage is scuffed up, Marty, but I don't see any crush panels or anything hanging down. We'll see if this can be a normal pit stop.
Yeah, he felt like the right rear was going down. That's why they're going to come down pit road after that contact with the wall. To your point, restarted 25th after that bad pit stop, just trying to make his way through the field with clearly the best long-run car here at Kansas. But that's another fast race car that had a shot to win this race that now is going to be down, a couple of laps here. Almirola already down one as he leaves pit road.
Everybody, appreciate you stopping in. Hey, be sure to hit that thumbs up
for the
for
next
me.
20 laps and the leaders all pit. These fresh
like
tires
to
are going to
more,
allow the 20 to gain a
more
ton
NASCAR,
of time.
be sure to hit
it would
that
have to be a
thumbs up.
perfect scenario, but if we
And
can run
subscribe to
green
the
through the
channel.
cycle of pit stops and then maybe get a caution like reasonably right after the leaders pit, maybe 5 or 10 laps after the leaders pit, the 20 might actually gain some track
Getting our
position.
feet
but
wet
it's not
here
a
in
call you would
NASCAR.
wanna make. Obviously,
Everything
their
goes
hand was forced
okay
with
for the
damage.
remaining of the NASCAR playoff season.
Still up front, Chandler
I will
Smith
be,
has about a half a
I will
second
be
lead over
starting,
Cole Custer.
More
I think Cole
consecutive,
Custer has a better race car. And I think
more
it shows up in
consecutively
traffic.
doing the
Probably about
25
the same when
season.
they run top together. But when they
This
have
is
to
all
move off the
pertinent
top,
to
it looks
whether
like the double
myself
zero
and
can make the
Mav
pass a little
pick
cleaner.
up and start doing the 25
Or the
seasons. So,
lap cars are being nicer because he's in second. It's one of the two.
Currently,
so we got
24
Smith,
cars
Custer,
on the lead lap.
Zillich,
JJ Yaley
Street, and
running
Hill
at 24th
still
position.
currently running 1 through 5.
Let's ride along,
Got
Cole
C.
Custer. Listen
Jones,
to him.
Meyer, out,
Listen to the throttle.
Ollendinger, and Hurst finishing out your top 10.
Kind of driving it like a Darlington, where you go to the throttle, you find grip, you start losing it, you lift off the throttle all the way through the corner. Let's listen again.
Well, they like to follow Cole Custer.
Stay in it, but at this racetrack, it's so slick. You're just trying to carry as much pace as you can through the center of the corner. A lot of throttle, back out of it, get grip, find the throttle again. 24 to his 39. 10th and a half a second faster doing what he's doing. It's so fun up there against the wall, especially when you're running the guy down in front of you.
And that's what Custer is doing right now. It's down to 0.4 of a second. The gap between Chandler Smith and Cole Custer. 70 laps to go.
Things get broken like barriers.
Oh, man, some of these commercials. So Custer continuing to try and hit the leader. Or not hit him, but trying to catch him. Hey, thanks for stopping in, everybody. Appreciate you popping in. Hey, be sure to chat with us. I'd like to hear if you got anything to say. Unfortunately, my chat vote evidently disappeared. Just poof, gone. Even though it was set up. So I don't have anything now, and I didn't notice it until just 5 minutes ago. But hey, throw it down in the chat. Who's your favorite driver? Who are you rooting for? I'd love to know. Myself and Mav, we root for Chase Elliott when it comes to the Cup Series, but I'm new to NASCAR, guys, so I'd love to hear who you think I should follow. Who should be my driver that I watch for. Love to know. Let me know in the chat. Head on over to the comments section after the stream's over and let me know in the comments. Who do you think I should follow? Who's your favorite racer? Here we go. Custer, he made his move. Custer on the bottom. Custer is now in first place. And now he is putting some distance. Wow, what a pass. All right, so we got Custer, Smith, Zilich, Creed, and Hill. Hill is now pitted. All right, so Meyer and Allgaier is coming into the pit. That's three of the points leader top guys that have pitted. Zilich is now coming into pit. Klingman coming into pit. Retzloff coming into pit. We are on lap 143, so we have 57 laps to go. We are still under green. Oh, somebody's got a tire rolling out. Caution. So we have a yellow because of a tire. Hey, thank you for that sub. I certainly appreciate it. You are awesome. So we got Brendan Jones Williams die. All right, sorry about that. We got Smith. No, this isn't right. There we go. We got Brennan Jones, Josh Williams, Daniel Dye, Shane Von Gissenbergen, Matt Denabito. That's your top 5. Alfredo, Custer, Love, Almirola, and Yiley make up the remainder of your top 10. So Custer getting on the lead lap, and he will start in 7th. I'll tell you what these pit guys can do, the speed that they do it at is just unreal. All right, so when they come back, they'll reset the field. All right, so it's funny that it's so the average speed, guys and gals, is 113.420. With the last speed clock was at 150.067. Now, earlier in the race, we did see 174. I'm pretty sure it said 174 mile an hour the last time I seen it. Oh, man, that stretch felt so good. All right, so we are back.
All part of the top 5, as is Connor Zilich.
Again, looks like we're following along with Custer.
All right.
They are.
Pros and cons
the
of
battle
this caution
not,
coming out. Obviously, a pro for Cole Custer. He was on
CW broadcast. They have followed
Custer
along with
Chandler
Custer
Smith,
for
I'm not sure it really affected them a whole lot. They were running 1-2. They're still running 1-2. I think the big difference, good break for the 21 of Hill, 18 of Creed.
I'll tell you, now it says Custer
Zilich,
is in first.
As well.
Chandler Smith,
other cars,
Austin
Josh
Hill,
Williams, Ryan Seeds,
Sheldon
Aric
Creed,
Almirola, depending on the
Connor
yellows.
Zilich.
SVG, a big break for SVG
That's
running
top
11th.
5.
There you go. Here's all the guys that were between the pace car and the 00 of Cole Custer. They all got waved around. Now, some of these guys maybe still one lap down because they were 2, but several of the playoff guys, Allmendinger, Herbst, Kligerman, those guys all waved around back into the lead lap. Sam Mayer.
That's who I think it really hurt, is Mayer, Allmendinger, Herbst, Kligerman. Those cars were all higher in the running order. They do get the wave around to just point, so they're back on the lead lap, but they're going to start tail end. They're going to be the last cars on the racetrack, so this was a 5 or 10 point swing for those 4 playoff cars.
You always want to pit early to put tires on a track where it matters, where new tires are faster, but the negative is if you go 4 or 5 and the caution comes out, it gets you in trouble.
The other thing that this caution does, it allows these teams to save fuel, so those that might have been really close, able to save enough fuel to make sure that if there is a green-white checker at the end, that they can make it through that as well. Kim.
And the other thing the caution caution did is give a little bit more time to Jesse Love and his team to make a big swing on that race car. Danny Stockman, the crew chief, said get 2 jacks and a jack stand. We're going to make some wholesale changes. They pulled the left rear spring rubber out, air pressure adjustments on the tires,
hey, be sure to hit that thumbs up for me.
Packer in. Jesse just complaining he was
my
neutral to free on entry, and then several numbers tight center, saying the front end of that race car just
streaming tomorrow night's Kansas Casino.
There's Danny Stockman, veteran crew chief.
CLO's here.
He's listening the Hollywood Casino. Hollywood Casino 400.
Yeah, look at that. 3 radio cables on the right, at least 1 on the left.
This weekend of races
that's why I have so many voices.
Right, inaugural
to that many for so many years.
Doing driver that has a lot to gain here.
See how it
97 car, Shane Van Gisbergen, and he's restarting in 11th.
It's done fairly well. I mean, I haven't had a tremendous amount of people stop in.
This race, Cole Custer on the outside.
That's expected. Nobody knows that I'm streaming NASCAR. Oh, here we go. We are under green. Let's go get some racing, boys. Boogity.
3 wide for 6.
Go racing, boys.
And it's the 20 of Almirola who
shout out to On the Go with CeeLo, guys. Shout out to the man.
Connor Zilich, who's running 4th now.
He is the inspiration behind me wanting to. I mean, Mav and I have talked for 2 years of doing it.
Daniel Dye
ever since Mav started streaming,
there between Alfredo
that was one of the things that when him and I sat down, I asked him, well, what things do you like? What are the things you like? And his was NASCAR and baseball.
Help the handling on that car.
It's taken me this long to really actually get us something designed, set up, and feel comfortable enough to stream
now
NASCAR.
Almirola trying to take the spot away from
we
Connor
look
Zilich.
At CeeLo and use him as an inspirational man.
That's a
the guy is
a good word.
He's an awesome dude.
Lap 25, I
very,
don't think
very friendly guy.
Right off there, maybe
I can't say enough good things about him.
Jeff. Aric Almirola
really good person.
Just his experience that you have got to shut the door and move forward. If
he
you
even gave us the car renders
right rear, it's just going to hurt
a couple years back and explained to me
trying to join
how to do it.
The group of
because I'll tell you, for a long time, I tried to figure out how to set things up, and I was struggling with it. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Let me get that back up and running.
Not wanting to let him do it, but took that spot. Good job.
Browser window.
Zilich a little more aggressive there. As the gap now between Chandler Smith and race leader Cole Custer is closing again.
Took me a while.
Chandler Smith, most of
long
the day,
while.
has had short
he tried to
speed.
explain to me. He told me how he got the car renders and everything,
Chandler Smith looks to the inside.
Shout out to him for helping me.
Jeff, I think
I really appreciate it.
Very important in this battle. The 00 knows that even if the 81 gets by, make him work at it.
I know.
His tires were falling
I've looked out
already.
there. A lot of people are using the cars.
81, the back of the car gets really
for their
upset with the 00 on the outside of it. Oh, man.
Oh, that's tight.
Ooh,
I'm not sure that was clear.
That was tight.
A concession by the 00.
But it's just the same.
Big picture a little bit more.
When the 3D interactive for the baseball come out, nobody knew about it.
But look again.
I was the very first one out of anybody out there.
Well, it started on corner entry because
and as soon as CeeLo come and asked me about it, I told him how to do it.
And right there,
I'm just not somebody that's going to say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to give you that because I don't want your stream looking like mine." I'm not that type of person.
So now 43 laps.
He come and he asked me how I did it, and I explained it straight away. And he set it up, and then everybody else filtered in using it.
I tell you what's impressive about this run.
I hope there's no hard feelings about having the cars on the stream.
Think about who his teammates are.
Not trying to copy anybody, just trying to.
And he has outrun them most of the day.
It's out there for everybody to use. Just want the stream to look the best it can for you guys.
9. Brandon Jones had won the pole, then fell back.
Oh, that's cool. I see he's like that 52 or 5400 now.
Justin Allgaier in the
Moving
7th,
along.
also problems.
Well, that 21 is loose. Saw Austin Hill get in the corner and back of the car started moving around.
So yeah, all I can say to you guys is that I can give you one guarantee.
The corner pretty deep.
My streams will only get better.
The speed, but
the more I learn about NASCAR,
I like this 20 car. I think he's the best car in the race.
NASCAR and the systems they use, like these cams and
one time into the wall
everything.
With some flat right rear tires. He has no more tires
get it down to a
pit,
T.
so he needs this thing to run
the
green to the
streams are only
finish.
going to get better.
And now that he's into third, I think the 20 can put it
So I
right
appreciate you
back
stopping
up
in
on the wall,
and
where he's the best
following along
and
the
run
race
the
with
leaders
me.
down.
Yeah, time for the Toyota.
All right, so we have a new leader. We got Chandler Smith that's taking
new life now for
back
Aric
first place.
Almirola, who at one point was 25th.
Custer back in
while
second.
Ago, just a few laps ago, as a matter of fact. With that caution felt just perfect for them. It allowed them, because they were short on fuel, to pit, get new tires on, and then restart inside the top 10. And honestly, the closest they have been at the beginning of a run, pretty much all
So we
day
got
long.
Smith,
And
Custer,
remember, the 20 car might have the best
Almirola,
car here today.
Zilch, and Hill.
Can pull it off.
That is your top five.
A good long run car is Cole Custer. Listen to what he said on the radio after Chandler Smith passed him.
Yep. Go get him. He gives up on the long run anyway. Go get him, Eric.
So Cole Custer knows he has a good long run car. Thinks Chandler Smith is a sitting duck, and part of this is being the defending champion. I asked Cole what he learned in last year's
There's Hazel.
win, and he said you really have to have an understanding.
Hazel,
of
tell
what it takes
everybody
each
hi.
race,
My
and
name is
each
Hazel.
round. One of the things
I love
on
you
that
too.
list was patience, which Cole is showing right now. On the flip side, Chandler
Pretty
Smith,
girl.
interesting and glee enough, before that green flag flew on this run, the team told him, look, you've been taking care of your stuff, and
Who's
that is
gonna
great,
win?
but you have
Huh?
to get up in there and mix it up. And so
gonna
that's
win?
even more interesting when you take into the consideration the last
Custer gonna
5
win?
races, Chandler Smith has finished
Is he?
in the top
Custer
10,
gonna
and
win?
he's had
High
near
five?
wins, and after some of those near wins, he said he made his race a little bit too friendly. So are we seeing Chandler Smith finally turn up the wick here in the playoffs?
Custer gonna win?
9/10 of a second lead over Custer,
No.
and 3.9 seconds back to his teammate, which is Aric Almirola running third. Chandler Smith out
Go
front.
get Tyler. Go get Tyler.
Seat is leather.
Go get him.
We get it. You love
Hazel.
your bike. We do too. That's why
Go
we're
get Tyler.
America's #1 motorcycle
Out.
insurer. But do you have to wedge it into everything?
What? I don't do that. This reminds me of my bike.
Go get Tyler.
The roof was about the size of my new
Get it.
motorcycle. Have you seen it, by the way? Happy birthday, Grandma.
Commercials. They are the blight of society. Yeah, they're still on commercial. That's why I went ahead and gave you the sound from the cam. That's the battle cam, everybody.
Roll on at Talladega as the top drivers will jockey for playoff position in their Race 4 Championship NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs from Talladega. That's next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, only on
All right, there we go.
CW.
We are back to
as Chandler
Kansas
Smith
SpeedWay.
has a 0.8 of a second advantage over Cole Custer. It's 3.8 seconds now back to Almirola, so holding positions with now just 32 laps to go.
32 laps, but traffic
32 laps.
with Custer.
168 laps
and
completed.
then sporadic lap traffic and a few tenths of a second. When you get forced off your preferred lane, you can lose that time very
Last
quickly.
speed 160.791 with an average speed of 114.940. We got Chandler Smith in first place, Cole Custer in second, Aric Almirola in third, Connor
He's going to have to make some serious
fourth,
lap time
and
if he's going to
Brendan
catch
Jones
I think he can, though.
for your
From
fifth
what
position.
I've seen out of this 20,
We got Austin
I think
Hill,
in about 15 or 20
sixth,
laps, you could be talking
Sheldon
3 or 4
Creed in
tenths of a
seventh,
second a lap. He
Jesse
runs the
Love
top as well as anyone.
number
What I don't
8,
know is that damage
Josh
getting in the
Williams
wall
in ninth,
earlier
and
hasn't
Anthony
hurt something. And
Alfredo
right there, 0.3 of a second.
will
You do
round
the
out
math.
your top
30
10.
laps, 0.3 of a second. That easily makes up the gap.
That's worst case scenario, though, because Chandler Smith was behind.
Well, they just said 32 laps.
That held him back
And now
just a
we're at
little
30.
bit,
That's
but
some
I
fast
say that, and
laps.
here comes Cole Custer. Let's see what happens right here, because Chandler ran a very slow
You
lap.
heard what Custer
the
had
lap
said
before.
when Smith took over. He said he was effed. He is
Same
effed,
thing
he
we
said.
saw earlier. That three-quarter mark of the corner is
Now,
where Cole
will we
Custer's
see a
faster.
repeat of what happened last
Right
night in the truck
They're able to
series?
stay in the gas.
The
really
long
makes them ground up.
race leader run out of gas on the last lap.
So if
And Hill,
Aric Almirola, who races for
I
Joe
believe it
Gibbs
was
Racing,
Hill that was able to
does
come in and take the
close
win.
the gap and gets to the 81, who races for Joe Gibbs Racing. Is there such a thing as team orders? Because now you have Chandler Smith, who could advance in these playoffs with a win, with a teammate that is probably his biggest competition.
I think there are things as team orders that's called go win. I think that's the team orders. And I think Aric Almirola would pass the 81 without
Hey,
any
welcome
sort of
in,
thought.
everybody.
He passed
Appreciate
him
you
to the
stopping
stage
in.
win earlier. He would do
Hey,
the
if you haven't
same
done
thing
so
for
yet,
the
be
race
sure to
win,
hit that
probably
thumbs
try
up
even
for us,
harder.
guys.
Well, already you see Almirola has cut that lead. It was over
And
3
be sure to
seconds.
subscribe to
Now
the
it's down
channel, man.
Just
This
over
is
2.5.
only my second attempt at the race, and
2.7
hey, I like
seconds
it.
separating
I enjoy
Chandler
doing
Smith
them, so
now in Almirola,
rest
who's the
assured I
fastest car
will
on
be
the track.
bringing you
Morning.
more and more races.
And not
so
to complicate
I'm no
things,
expert.
Rick, but remember Aric
definitely not
Almirola
an
in the 20
expert.
car in the Owners' Championship
I'm
battle.
pretty
so
new
yes, I can answer that
to the
question.
new era
He would
of
pass the
NASCAR.
81 because there's something to
You know,
fight for with the 20
I followed
team.
NASCAR
They told him
back
a moment
in
ago,
the,
you've been 3 tenths
you know,
faster
early
than both
and
of the
mid
cars in front of you the
90s.
last
So
several laps. There's plenty of time to
been
get
a long
it done.
time.
And then they threw this in, Jeff. Remember
It's
the 00 and
it's like
81
stepping on an
will start
alien
racing
world
each
for me
other very
because
soon.
I don't know
You'll
any of the
much
names.
quicker when that happens.
I mean,
think that's a
you
great
got
point.
you got your big family
Clearly,
team that you
Custer's a
know
little
your
bit
big
faster
team
right
family
now,
names
but
stuff like that. But
Is
now it's
Chandler
all
Smith
these
gonna make the
youngsters
adjustment? He did not
driving,
make it.
and even a lot of
Well,
the
we
older
saw
guys.
Cole
I don't
get
know.
by him earlier in the race.
But I can
Chandler
guarantee
kept
one
turning
thing:
down, just
my
like
streams
he's
are only
doing
going to
right
get
here,
better
but
because
he's going to have to make this
I look
adjustment.
at
If
this
not,
as
Cole's gonna
a
pass him.
job, and I won't
And you
stop.
saw
I'll
the
study.
statistics on the left side with
I'll
Cole
even
Custer's
study,
finishes
guys.
here at Kansas.
Where I
This
go
is
in
the
and I
only
watch
racetrack
older
he races in the
races.
Xfinity Series
I
that
get
he
to know the
doesn't
guys'
have a top
names, the
10
car
finish
names.
in. Currently running
It's just going to
second
get better.
and about to
So
challenge
if
for
you,
the
if
lead
you
here.
want to ride along
love to see
to
Chandler
that journey,
right
please
now,
subscribe
before
to the channel and
the
stay
00
with
gets
us.
right to his bumper, try the
As
higher
well as I broadcast,
try to
do
learn
race
where you're not
commentary.
under so much
I
pressure, but
do
Chandler's just
the
committed
Chicago
to
Bears
turning and
football
leaving lower.
commentary.
And it might be better
I'm
for
looking to move
Chandler's
into
car,
maybe some
but I think it's
hot.
just a huge advantage for the
this
double zero that
upcoming
he's
hockey
leaving that
season.
lane. I agree with you, Jeff. If he could run the same lap
A lot
time
of
up
new
higher,
and
the
good things
defense
coming to the
alone
channel.
would be an
Be sure to
advantage.
stay with me.
Even if he ran slower.
Shout out to
Even
Maverick,
if he ran a
Maverick
little
from Maverick
slower
Sports
up top,
today.
how
I do
is
believe
the
he's over at his
double
buddy's
zero
house
gonna
for
pass him on
the
bottom?
Georgia
Make him
game.
prove it to me.
Georgia
Almirola
was
now
taking
closing
on
into
Alabama
almost 2 seconds, so he's continuing to close it down. In clean air, it's kind of equal, but when the leaders catch traffic, I think by the time the third place car gets there, he just
I do want to say heart-thought prayers out to everybody affected by the hurricane.
It was already down to 2 seconds, and it went up to 2.3.
If you haven't done so, guys,
down again.
If there are donation drives set up,
remember,
please have a heart and donate anything you can. Food, whatever that may be needed. That's where the wife and I were today. When on our way back, we got a flat tire. That's why the stream started late. We took a bunch of food down to a place that was gathering food, clothes, stuff like that for the hurricane victims.
Chandler has to make an adjustment.
Please, if you have the ability, please help donate to those in need.
On the bumper.
That's not a paid promotion. That's just me as a loving person that doesn't want to see anybody suffer, man. And there were a lot of people affected, so please, if you have the means, reach out, help somebody.
Of the 81, I think between losing a lane of
all right, back to racing. We got Smith in first, Custer second, Almirola third, Dilks fourth, and Jones still round out your top five.
Low here. Try to get a run, stay close enough.
They're starting to make up some distance. He's starting to track him.
Almirola to only a second and a half behind. Chandler Smith up higher.
20 laps to go.
Oh, that's so close.
00 cannot get to that right rear quarter panel. But yes, the 20 is coming into the shot. So the 20 of Almirola now under a second and a half.
It's a game of inches, though, if you think about it. For Custer, he keeps getting closer and closer. He's going to enter turn 3 closer to Chandler Smith than he has this entire time. Let's see if he can make it happen. There's a lap car right against the wall. That's going to affect both of them.
Chandler stayed up a little higher that time. Now as he goes down, he's still able to stay in front of the 00.
2 more lappers, 07 will be the first one.
1.2 seconds back is Almirola. 20 laps to go.
What a race.
And 20 laps is a long time for Aric Almirola and forever for Chandler Smith to try to continue to hold off the 00.
And think about the motivation in that 20 car. They're getting bigger and bigger, getting closer to him.
1.3 seconds. Can he get to the right rear quarter panel? He still cannot.
Still couldn't get to it.
Custer needs to know that Aric Almirola is now only a second back. 1.2. He's coming. You've got to make this pass.
So far, the focus for Custer has been forward. But here in a little bit, he's going to have to start looking in the mirror.
Well, that's exactly right. You want to be on complete offense. And Chandler's doing a nice job. Chandler's car is not as fast. Oh, he's there now. He's there. Can he stay there?
Oh, he got it. There he goes. And he slingshot him. Custer making his move on the inside.
For the lead.
Oh, they had some pain.
Oh,
it's close.
Almirola's going to get a big run here.
Oh, there goes Smith.
It was a second before those two ran side by side. The gap back to the 20.
I think Custer got angry at Chandler Smith right there. He cut him off on corner exit, but he can't let his anger change what's working. Got to get back to that top.
Custer had a shot at it.
51, affecting
Smith
the lines
able to ford him off. Wow.
And that was a big gain for Almirola.
0.8 of a second.
16 laps to go.
All right, get back focused. Go back to work.
Zillage still back almost.
Looked like they shared a little paint there when they were side by side,
17
and
laps to go.
it
These two drivers
adversely affected Custer
no
for sure.
Between Almirola and the 00. I say that because, as the 00 gasses it up, will he beat his right side this time? No. I say that because the 00's been running the middle of 1 and 2, the 20 running the top. So will the 81 and the 00 give the 20 the top all the way around 1 and 2? No, now this time the 00 goes back to the top. Oh, I
right
like
up
this.
against the wall.
Oh, here he comes on the top side now.
Big momentum down the backstretch.
Smith has cut him off on that.
Smith and Cole Custer, a part of the 12 drivers that are in the playoffs. A win, and you automatically advance to the next round of playoffs.
Oh, so close.
Almirola driving the 20, not in the Drivers' Championship, but the Owners' Championship for that 20 car.
And Chandler's doing a great job right here. Good forward momentum from Custer. All right, this is the time. This is the time. You got to make it work. You know Chandler's going to give you the outside. Get it right against the boards. Get that clean air on the right side of the car. Chandler turns down.
Here he comes.
Ease it.
Here he comes. Come on, get him. Get him, Custer. Come on.
To go to the gas so quickly that it's hurting his exit
14
speed.
laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. 186 laps completed. We are under green. Average speed of 120 or 117.540. Last speed 157.724.
Chandler Smith is going a little bit deeper into the turn than we're seeing.
We got
Cole
Smith, Custer,
but then they even
Almirola,
Phillips,
and
the
Jones
that they're running right there is
rounding out your top 5. The remaining going to your top 10 is Sheldon Creed, Austin Hill, Jesse Love,
gain corner exit.
Shervon Gisenberg,
and so far it's worked.
Josh Williams. That will finish out your top 10.
Coming into play here.
I did not think that Chandler Smith had a chance. It looked like to me he was in big trouble. And he is. He does not have as fast of a car. But he has driven it very, very well.
Exactly the way he has to stay in front. He continues to go a little bit lower on the exit of 4 and then drift up the racetrack. And Custer cannot get back to the right side.
Almirola is the closest he's been.
12 laps. We are 12 laps and counting, guys and girls.
7/10 of a second for
189 laps.
Here. You see how much
89.
double zero made
Yes,
in the center of the
189
corner?
completed 11
He's
laps.
not gaining it on corner exit. Watch what happens. They equal out on entry. Here comes the double zero. He's in the gas. He's making progress. But he can't continue it. The 81, he beats him off the corner. So what I would like to see, I'd like to see Cole Custer change it up a little bit. Kind of be more patient on the throttle. Wait a little bit more. Go full throttle, not have to lift on corner exit.
And now the 20's in the mix. So is there a way to be patient with the 20 right there on the back bumper?
Big run right here by Custer. What can he do with it?
Come on,
right
Custer.
There, he's got to lift early because he uses so much speed here.
There he goes. He's on the inside. He's trying to get him. Oh, Smith
is he going to stay? He does. He keeps the 81 down. Now, as they're side by side, here comes the 20.
Here he comes. He's beside him. He's got it. Oh, Custer, come on.
Side by side.
He's got it.
To the lead. Under 10 laps to go.
Custer with under 10 laps to go takes the lead. Number 20 coming up beside him. Now number 20 is in second place.
He tries to. He's there.
He takes over second. Smith drops to third.
The gas. But Chandler Smith has fallen back to third. 9 laps to go at Kansas. Remember, this is the
8 laps to go.
Cup finish
192 laps completed.
The double zero traffic out front, Jeff.
Chandler did a great
double
job.
zero, baby.
Does not have the speed. Now that Almirola's to Custer, what adjustments does he have to make? Remember, the 81 was slowing the double zero down. So we don't know how much pace the 20 has compared to the double zero. We're getting ready to find out.
The gap's getting larger. 0.7 of a second back to Almirola. Custer 8 laps away.
Custer in that Ford. Then we got a Ford, 2 Toyotas, 2 Chevys, a Toyota,
by winning
and
the
then
race
4
at Bristol.
Chevys.
And the first
rounding out your top 10.
Cole Custer.
So 6 Chevys, 3 Toyota, and 1 Ford in your top 10.
He's 0.5 of a second in front of Almirola.
Well,
but hey, for your Ford fans,
double zero is running the line that the
that double zero is running first, so that's all that matters for your Ford fans.
And that's hurting his pace.
And I think the double zero is being held up this whole time by the 81. He was clearly faster. He just needed to get by. I think the 20 and the 00 have almost the exact same car. The 20's goal was to get the 00 while he was battling the 81. Now the 20 needs to be thinking, trying to time this with traffic. It's still possible. The 00 has 4 cars out front. I think he's going to lap all of them the closing 7 laps.
And one car very slow down the back straightaway. I don't know if he'll make it back.
I'll tell you, Custer's certainly pulling ahead of Almirola.
20, he doesn't have any tires left in the pits.
Oh, what's
Corey Heim? It's
not running.
Yeah, it's not running. So no power for the 26. He's rolling through the center of 3 and 4.
He's got I don't know if he's going to make it or not. I feel like he's got enough pace to make it to the entrance.
We got 5 laps to go. I hope we don't go to caution. Nope.
I think NASCAR is going to allow this to play out if he can safely. He's all the way left. I'll give Corey credit. He's as far away from the racetrack as he can find pavement.
Yes, good job by Corey.
He's going to get to pit road.
So then it's just back to the racetrack, the 00 and the 20.
I tell you what, this 20 of Almirola has found something on corner exit. He is turning. He gets to the middle of the corner, and he hangs the left in 3 and 4, and it's been.
It's going to be a close one. Almirola right on the back of Custer.
He's going a lower line.
Here he comes. He's going low. Now he's back up behind him.
To the wall he goes. Down the back stretch. They're separated by a car length.
Traffic ahead for the 00.
Watch his
4 laps to go.
Left right here. That's what he's been able to do the last few laps, and it's been working.
Custer went down a little bit as well. But now, the 20 to the back bumper of Cole Custer.
Will we see?
Custer won a week ago at Bristol. Can he go back?
Oh, Almirola.
End the regular season and then win the first race of the playoffs. Traffic helps the 00 there. Doesn't allow the 20 to turn left.
Under 4 to go. Cole Custer has never won back-to-back races in his career.
That time the 20 turned early on corner entry.
Why is this saying Almirola is in first place? He's not. Oh,
he gets to
there
the
he comes. There he goes.
Here comes the 20.
There he's making a run.
Almirola has the advantage.
Oh, he is taking it from Custer. 2 laps to go. Now here comes Custer down on the bottom.
He's not going to have enough momentum to get by the 20 as he goes up the racetrack.
Oh, man.
Still up front.
That was a great adjustment by Aric Almirola. He found a way to get his car to make speed. He's trying it again. That may give Custer the outside. It doesn't.
2 laps to go. Almirola fighting from almost 5 seconds back. And now out front.
We are down to the last race.
And Cole Custer, watching him get smaller in his windshield. 0.3 of a second the gap.
Almirola
in front of the grandstand.
Still in front.
1 lap to go. Presented by Credit
1 lap to go.
Aric Almirola, just a few starts in this 20. He's been to victory lane already at Martinsville. As I mentioned before, 3 other drivers have won twice in the 20. This could be the 8th win for the 20 in 2024. Almirola is going to grab his 6th career Xfinity Series win, and it happens here at Kansas.
Here's the checkered flag. Almirola, Custer, and Smith, your top 3. Well played. Well done.
Driver wanted to step away. The sponsor said, we need you to come back, at least for a year. He did. It said, I'm going to step away from full-time Cup racing, but I still want to be a part of NASCAR. And so he got a limited start schedule with Joe Gibbs Racing behind the wheel of the 20. And he gets to victory lane here for the 2nd time in 2024. Behind behind the wheel of this 20. 8 wins now for the 20 car. '98 chasing after the 21 here. Remember, they had some issues on the track earlier. Playoff drivers pull up to a different area. That's why you're seeing some of the cars stopped on pit road, and the 21 and 98 still rolling. Celebration has started for Aric Almirola in this 20 team. Austin Hill quickly out of the 21 on the bottom of your screen.
All right, well, there you have it, number 20. Number 20.
Almirola gets the win. He only led 16 laps in this race, but you saw what he did at the end to get by the 0-0 of Cole Custer.
NASCAR Xfinity Series win.
Aric Almirola. Almirola. That will be your Kansas Lottery.
The fans here know the battle that Aric Almirola has gone through in his racing career.
Winner.
2017 at this
Cole
very
Custer
racetrack
taking second. Chandler
in
Smith in
accident.
third. Connor Zeilich in fourth. Sheldon
And now back
Creed
to
will
victory
take
lane.
fifth. And Brendan Jones. Oh, no, that can't be.
Kim, let's hear from this winning driver.
Yeah, big win here at Kansas Speedway for Aric Almirola. Fan favorite with the burnout he just did on the start-finish line. Wow, what a run for you and this team today, Aric. That last green flag stretch, it's like you knew you had the car to beat. You were so methodical, overtaking Cole Custer and waiting. How patient did you have to be over that last run?
Really patient. I obviously wasn't patient earlier in the race. I'm wore out. that was a long day or a hard day at the office, especially for a guy who's been sitting on the couch. Yeah, I just overdrove. I knew we had such a great He Gets Us Toyota GR Supra. I was able to get by everybody on the long run.
Unfortunately, points leader Justin
Allgaier
Allgaier.
Too hard there when we had the issue on
Allgaier.
And I got in the fence and cut the
goes
rear
out
tire
early.
down. So I knew I had to put my head down and go to work after that. We got lucky to get the caution when we did, and then we were out of tires. So the fact that it went green there to the end, and that's where we were strong. We were really strong on the long run. Yeah, it just worked out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one,
First
Kenneth.
and foremost, this is such an
Cup
awesome
Series
opportunity
seems to
to
be
do this
the
with Coach.
big boy on
Thank
the
you so
on
much
the,
again. I
on
know
the
I say
board
it
for
over and
Big
over. I
Dog.
sound like a broken record,
So
but
I'm looking forward
this
to
is
it.
so much fun to come and race these
I'll tell you
cars
what,
for
racing's
Jokic
racing
Racing.
for me, man.
Everybody
I
at
enjoy it
Toyota,
all.
The GR Supers are fast.
You know, my wife
fast
was
as
sitting
the
behind me
Xfinity
last
unit.
night when I was talking to
And
everybody
just
about
really hats off to Seth
going to my
and
first NASCAR
Zicky,
race.
Chance, Greg, Joey.
Hopefully in the 25
Gibbons back in
season,
the
I'd
shop.
like to go down
Everybody,
to the
all the guys, all the pit
Iowa
crew
Speedway
guys,
track.
They have been
And
fast with this
possibly-
group. And just victory lane.
I don't
has
know
eluded them,
if
so
there's
I told
even
them all
tickets
week,
available.
I'm like, man, I'd love nothing more than to share a beer with you guys in victory
But
lane and go get
there's
a picture
gotta
made.
be,
So,
you know, whether it's
I got a really good friend,
whether
of mine,
it's
George,
Truck
who's
Series,
been through me,
Xfinity, or
been with
Cup.
me through thick and
I
thin
don't
with
care.
Smithfield.
I just
and
want to go
he
to
lives
one.
here in Kansas City. And I told him, I was like,
And
man,
she
I
seemed
hope
to
you
be
come the
pretty
race.
excited.
I've got a
You know,
good feeling about
she
it.
really
So
likes
gonna
stock
celebrate
car
with him
racing and
Janice
demolition
Victory Lane.
derbies,
Hi to the
figure
kids.
eight races and
They're
stuff
back
like
home
that,
with my
so.
mom. Love you guys. And
Finally
we're gonna
found
celebrate this
something
one.
that
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Big win
sport-wise
for
that
Aric
my
Almirola
wife
and
will
this
actually
team.
sit and
We'll
watch
see him back in
and
this car for the
do
remainder
it.
of the 6 races this season.
looks like we might try to make a weekend of it.
Here at the Kansas Speedway on pit road, there was a lengthy conversation between the Riley Herbst automobile team.
So again, there were issues on track, and we see Cole Custer going up to Chandler Smith. So conversations going on between those two drivers. Custer not happy about it. Austin Hill, we knew that he felt bad about what he did, obviously, to Riley Herbst. Riley Herbst, he and Austin are going to have a little chat. And there you see Sammy Smith and Allmendinger. So a lot of conversations taking place.
You might wonder, John Legend.
So afterwards, all the racers that had a beef with each other because of what they did during the race are out there having a word about it. Well, everybody, I really appreciate everybody that stopped in. It was fun. I do apologize about the late start. It was unavoidable. Like I said, my wife and I, we went to Waterloo today to take down. We took a bunch of food, and we took some clothes. Went through things that we no longer need, and we took them down and donated them for hurricane relief. And on our way back, we blew a tire on the interstate. So waited about an hour and 15 minutes for the roadside assistance to come and change the tire. So I was late, but we still got the race in, so that's all that counts, in my opinion. All right, so that was fun. It was definitely fun. All right, so we are sitting here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, guys and gals. I need to get my Atlanta Braves baseball game scheduled up. Thank you for everybody that did stop by and participated. Thank you for all the likes. I appreciate the 2 subs that I got during the stream. Certainly appreciate that. I'll update that. Evidently, you guys had your subscribe is private. That's why it didn't pop up on the screen and tell me. And otherwise, I would have given you a shout out. If you want a shout out for joining, you just simply need to set your subscribe who you're subscribed to the public, and then when you subscribe to somebody, they can see that. Well, there wasn't much I could do. Kenneth, I'm streaming myself. Oh, I see he's already cut his stream. Oh, wow. Yeah, he did. I don't know if he was actually streaming the race today or what. Well, congratulations to Kimber on his 5,000 sub goal being reached. Keep up the good work. Shout out to On the Go with CeeLo. Let's see how. Let's go take a quick peek over there on CeeLo. I think he might have cut. No, he's still live. Let's drop in there and drop him a like. Looks like I just missed him. He is ending his stream. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. that was your Xfinity race. Your winner, Almirola. Now on to Cup Series. The Hollywood 400 tomorrow night. Or tomorrow afternoon, actually. Yeah, I actually stopped at his channel earlier, but he just had he had the raw feed up and was talking. So I wasn't able to put the sound on because, of course, I was streaming, so it would have come through. But I did go over and drop him a like while he was streaming. You can make some chicken salad now, huh, Mark? That's funny. All right. That was fun. That was absolutely fun. So there you have it, guys. I'm not going to uphold your Saturday afternoon any further than this. So, hey, I will see everybody here later on tonight. Atlanta Braves game. I believe it is 7:20 Eastern, 6:20 Central, which means I'll be going live at 6 o'clock. So I hope to see you there for the Braves and Kansas City Royals game 2. With that said, guys, on KGB from the C Sports Network, Clan HBS channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys stay safe, everybody. Peace out.